Good evening. I'm going to call to order the February 14th, 2024 Veterans Disability and Human Services Commission. Athwa, can I get a roll call?
Chair Hansel.
Excused.
Vice Chair Cupper.
Present.
Commissioner Belcheck.
Excused.
Commissioner Daigle.
Present.
Commissioner Kent Partridge.
Here.
Commissioner Lair.
Here.
Commissioner Maxfield.
Excused.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Everyone please rise as you're able for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So we have some current events. The City of Surprise, in partnership with Sanderson Ford, will be hosting the annual College Baseball Classic at Surprise Stadium February 16th through 19th. The event will feature the Oregon State Beavers, CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners, New Mexico Lobos, and Minnesota Golden Gophers. Visit surprisestadium.com for more information. Join us at Mark Coronado Park on Sunday, February 18th from 3 to 7 p.m. for Sunday in the Park. There will be delicious food, live music, and an outdoor market. Event admission is free. Food and drink are available for purchase. Volunteer at St. Mary's Food Bank during our Surprise Day of Service on Wednesday, February 21st. There are 3 shifts available between 7:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. where volunteers will be able to provide food for families in need. To register, contact Larry Garcia at larry.garcia@surpriseaz.gov or 623-222-1522. On February 28th, join us for an HOA summit from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Surprise Public Safety Building Auditorium. This event will cover community resources, housing trends, and other expert presentations. For more information, contact Larry Garcia at 623-222-1522. The Surprise Public Library System is asking residents to help design new library cards. Submit a design by May 3rd in one of 3 categories: 10 and under, 11 to 17, and 18 and over. For more information, visit surprisepubliclibrary.gov. City offices will be closed on Monday, February 19th in honor of President's Day. Please visit the city website to register or for more information on any of these events. Do any commissioners have any reports?
I can go first. Okay. I went to the Night to Shine dance. It's fabulous. Shout out to Amy Miller, Steve Miller at Radiant Church. Lots of smiling faces, happy kids, happy families. That was just such a lovely event. And they actually had our little sign-up banner. They were thanking the City of Surprise for the funding that they gave for that event. So highly recommend going if you guys never have been before. And then went to Vet Fest. Fabulous event, and I'm sure you guys will have more to share about that. So who's next?
Good.
All right, we had our first Disabilities Roundtable last month, and that was a good time. Get to know all the different organizations. Was well attended, shared and discussed some issues to work on, and just building community that way. It was really, really neat. And I look forward to the one in April. So that's a good one to attend. Also, the transit group also met this past month, and we established some goals and boundaries that we would like to achieve. So that would be, we'll discuss that at a later time, but just know the transit group did meet this past month. And also I attended the Vet Fest as well. It was well attended, but very cold. I was freezing, but it was really a lot of fun.
Awesome. All right. All right. Thank you, commissioners. Danielle, can we get staff reports?
Good
Good evening, Vice Chair, Commissioners. Let's see. So we have some outreach meetings coming up on February 28th, all about our new multi-generational community resource center. It's an open house style, and it's a good opportunity to learn more about the project, see some of the designs as they stand right now, and to ask questions of our staff. We have 2 different time slots. The first one is at the Senior Center from 9 a.m. to noon. And then the second one is at the Villanueva Recreation Center from 4 to 8 p.m. If you need any more information, you can call 623-222-1625. We're also hosting a hiring event in partnership with Arizona at Work through Maricopa County on February 21st. That's next Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Surprise Regional Library. We're going to have over a dozen employers there, and it's a job fair style, so come ready to interview and with a resume. For more information, you can contact Melinda Greenhouse, who is our workforce coordinator, at 623-222-1630. I also wanted to give a shout out to our Housing and Community Services team, who you're going to hear from in just a few moments. They're right here in the back, and I know Adam loves getting recognition. So our team won the Audrey Nelson Award for their work involved in the creation of the West Valley Housing Assistance Center. We all know this project was accomplished in partnership with a New Leaf, and since opening in the past year, it's served over 3,000 individuals with housing resources and provided over 4,000 bed nights of shelter. So if you could just help me give a very warm round of applause to our team for their accomplishment. Good job, guys. They were presented the award at a national conference a few weeks ago. So just want to give them a big kudos for all their hard work in that. And then in the spirit of Vet Fest, I wanted to thank you all for all your support, and with the last minute adjustments with the weather and things that were beyond our control, I think we did have a very good turnout for it being a first event. There are definitely lessons to be learned, things that we can improve and ways that we can just enhance it going forward, but the reception has been very positive. I haven't heard many complaints so far. So I think we found something, and we can keep it going year in and year out. So appreciate all of your help with that. And that concludes my staff report.
Thank you, Danielle. At this time, I'd like to open the call to the public. Athma, do we have anyone?
No one tonight, Vice Chair.
All right, thank you. At this time, we will close the call to the public. Athma, could you read the first item on the agenda?
Consideration and action pertaining to the January 10th, 2024 Veterans, Disability, and Human Services Commission meeting minutes.
Thank you. All right. Does anyone have anything they need to discuss with this? Are we good? All right. Entertain a motion.
I motion to approve the minutes for the January 10th meeting notes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. It passes. Thank you. Athma, can we get the next item, please?
Presentation and discussion pertaining to the CDBG and home needs hearing for the program year 2024 annual action plan.
Good evening, Vice Chair, Commissioners. Happy Valentine's Day. We're all happy to be here, I'm sure. We love this topic. I'm here to talk about our CDBG and home needs public hearing for our where we're formulating our 2024 annual action plan. This will be the 5th and final year of the current consolidated plan. So we want to finish strong. I think you've all done this before, but we're an entitlement city, so getting a direct allocation from HUD of Community Development Block Grant funds, and then home funds come through the Home Consortium with Maricopa County. So we got to do an annual action plan every year. We address the priority needs and goals identified in the 5-year consolidated plan that I just mentioned. We got to meet those national objectives every time, and address the issues around decent housing, a suitable living environment, and expanded opportunities, economic opportunities. So citizen participation in the formulation of the annual action plan requires citizen participation. And so that's what we're doing here tonight. We're having a hearing on the needs of the community around what's in the consolidated plan. So citizen participation just helps, gets the public involved, sometimes can identify hidden needs we're not seeing that the public has, bring those ideas forward and just generate that general involvement. So for 2024, we don't have an allocation yet. We're waiting for our really great leaders in Washington to act on the budget. So probably are going to be approving an action plan this year without an allocation. And what we'll do is we'll put in some contingencies on the spending. So we'll just go based on what we got last year. It was for 766, home at 250. And so we're just kind of playing around that budget and say, well, if we get a little more, we'll do this. If we get a little less, we'll take from these pots. So that usually works well. So just a reminder, the high priority needs in the consolidated plan: affordable housing, public facility improvements, public services, and planning and administration. Just to give you a heads up that this is the last year of the current consolidated plan. So we're going to come here in May. We'll start planning for the next consolidated plan, and we're going to ask all you to get involved in that and help us identify needs and goals for the next 5 years. So you'll be hearing from us on that pretty soon. So we invite any and all citizens or organizations to participate in the needs public hearing. And any comments we received, positive or negative, will be considered in the annual action plan. Staff will recommend projects for 2024 that include affordable housing, acquisition, rehab, tenant-based rental assistance, continue that program, housing services that support the home program, public facility improvements, public service, and that planning and admin. So from here, will be a 30-day comment period that starts on March 6th. We'll bring the draft plan to you for approval on April 10th. We'll take it to council the next week on April 16th, and then we'll get it to HUD by May 15th if we have an allocation. And that's it for me.
Thank you very much, Adam. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Yeah, I do. All right, go ahead, Commissioner Lair.
So you say this is the last year for this current one. What are we going to do for next year at the 2025, 2026 and further out?
So just like the
Yeah, so you
planning
say,
process?
yeah, so this is the fifth and final year for this one. So what are you planning for the same things for the next years?
We'll go through the consolidated plan process, which starts, we're just working on schedules today for that. So we'll start in May, we're going to have some surveys out to the community. We'll have some stakeholder meetings. We're going to have a meeting with you all in September. We'll talk about the issues and really, we can dig into it. And then basically from there, it kind of goes through the same process of the annual action plan. So it's a bigger plan than just annual action plan, a lot more sections and stuff, but we bring a draft, in kind of the same like we do like in April for you all to look at, goes through comment period, all that, and then we'll find those goals and same type of needs that we typically find. Yep.
Any other commissioners? All right. At this time, I believe we'll have a call to the public. Atha, do we have any call to the public right now?
Yes, tonight we have James Diaz.
Good evening. My name is Jim Diaz, and I'm Director of Shelter Services for A New Leaf, with responsibility for the West Valley Housing Assistance Center here in Surprise, and have responsibility for several other valley-wide shelters that we service. A New Leaf, if you're not familiar, we're relatively new to the city of Surprise, but we're a 53-year-old nonprofit. We have 40 programs covering housing, both emergency shelters, like the Housing Assistance Center is, but also more long-term supportive housing, domestic violence and sexual violence survivor programs and shelters, workforce readiness and literacy, early childhood services, including a 100-year-old preschool in South Phoenix, and foster care licensing and parenting coaching as well. And then behavioral health counseling, including family support. I wanted to talk a little bit about, number one, to thank you for all the support you've had. We've just opened up this past July our residences, and talk maybe a little bit about what we do and a little bit about maybe some of the needs where you can help us out as well. At the center, we really are providing relief for the growing homeless issue in the West Valley and Surprise. As I'm sure you're aware, the unsheltered population has grown by 25% in the West Valley and doubled over that period of time in the city of Surprise. And I will tell you that the trend is more children, more seniors, and more first-time homeless. And a lot of that's tied to rising housing costs. We're just off Grand between Greenway and Bell. The residency building, which just opened up in July, offers 7 family apartments. We've got 27 family members there, and we've served 61 since we opened in July. Apartments equipped with refrigerators and microwaves, although most of the meals are prepared for the families in our centralized kitchen. The normal stay is about 120 days, depending on housing availability and family progress. I just stopped by there on the way over here, and one of our original families, he just came out of his apartment on the balcony and said, finally got a job. So he was pretty excited about that. It's been a long journey for him. But we have had 5 families already graduate from our program into long-term housing. So we're really grateful for that. The program also includes a community center, which has been open almost 2 years. And we've served 350 walk-ins. We've had 50 already this past month and a half since the start of the year. Their families can walk in and get an appointment to enter what's called coordinated entry, which you may or may not be familiar with, but it's Maricopa-wide and allows families to get on a waiting list and get assessed and kind of triaged for where the best place is for them to go. Some others are just people that are stopping by, walk-ins, getting a bottle of water or a snack bag, use the phone, and sometimes just a supportive smile. We also, as I mentioned, house our kitchen. It's fully staffed during the week, but on weekends, we kind of count on the community to come forward. We have a lot of faith-based organizations come and other community groups to help serve, create, cook, and serve in some instances, all 3. Our residents are, I would describe as young and vibrant families with wonderful children. I am just struck by the energy and resiliency of these kids who've been through a lot of difficult times. Our youngest was born while mom was a resident, and I just got an update on her, and she's doing fine, as is baby. Our residents work closely with a wonderful woman, our case manager named Dee Sullivan, and she's the one that's working with them on a day-to-day basis. We focus on long-term housing first, helping them recover from the trauma of what got them into homelessness in the first place, and then the struggles of raising a family from a car or from the streets, and then skills to get a job and keep it. As I mentioned, in terms of progress, we have had 5 graduated families, and we're hopeful they won't return to homelessness. Our ability to stop the flow of homelessness is limited. So really what we focus on is kind of reducing what I call recidivism of homelessness, meaning keeping them out and getting them into long-term independent housing. One family that is one of our early success stories is getting videotaped this Monday for a presentation that we're honoring and recognizing them at our annual gala, which is next month. This is a family that has 3 children. They did all the right things in terms of the support systems that we asked them to avail themselves of. And you guys know the story, but they have 2 young girls, 11 and 12, who mom and dad were living in a car this summer, and kids were staying at grandparents. And the kids now are in school. They just recently got awards for best attendance. One's both on student council, one's in the band. So we don't get enough stories like that, but I just want to let you know that there is hope. But we're really thankful for all the support we get from the City of Surprise and Adam and his team and Seth. And I was going to mention the award, but it's already been mentioned, and we're happy to be part of that great story. We also benefit from a lot of partners in the City of Surprise and the surrounding community. For example, Global Credit Union helps us with financial literacy. We get nutrition counseling from NAU. The Hope Women's Center is helping us as well. So we do have space for other partners. And so we're working with Seth and Adam and others to bring on other resources. So if people want an office in our space, we can avail of the wraparound services that are needed for someone to get out of homelessness. Our focus really is safety first, then we try and build trust and hope, and then ultimately program solutions to getting them to long-term independence. It is a community issue because we're hoping that we're keeping those folks from being using the resources of the police department or emergency rooms and other places. It's a much more financially responsible way to be able to deal with taking care of them. And what we need really is we benefit from the volunteer meals. So as you're aware of other service organizations who may want to volunteer, that's helpful. Any additional wraparound services, as I mentioned, whether it's workforce readiness, other kind of programs like that to help our folks make the transition. We're looking to expand some of the transportation that you're providing for us through We Ride and Ride Choice. And we've already got help from the team here in getting staffing because labor issues are tough and no one comes to work for us to get rich. So that's an issue. That's all I have. Thanks for your time. Any questions I can help you with?
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Okay. I'm leaving you just some brochures about us, but also these are cards. I just used one on the way over here. We put 5 cards in a little packet that you could throw in your car. And so when you see somebody in a corner and you're not sure whether to give them money or avert your eyes or what the right thing to do is, we just hand out a card like this, and it's got phone numbers for resources from suicide hotline to housing to shelter.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, I'll leave it right here for you.
It's a public hearing. We can't do that.
Just need to make sure.
It's all right. But thank you again.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Do you have any other this time, Afba?
That's everything today, Vice Chair.
Thank you. All right. At this time, we'll close the call to the public. All right. And do we have any other business or future agenda items from any of the commissioners? So, oh, you know what? Yep, I skipped past something, my bad. Wait, motion to vote. Oh yeah, no, we are at the other business future agenda items. Anyone? No? No? All right, the only other business I have is that this is my last meeting. So really appreciated working with you guys and all the stuff we've been able to do for the city, and I'm sure I'm leaving it in great hands with you guys to keep doing some amazing things for our citizens here in Surprise. With that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries. We're adjourned.
Nicole,